Have you seen the controversy over KUJAY's tweets? I liked one of the tweets. I saw some people going after KUJAY pretty hard. For those that don't know, KUJAY is actually one of my, well, he's one of my friends, and he also someone I've been playing with for years now. And he's a smart guy, you know. He doesn't necessarily have a game developer background, but he is an engineer, and a lot different than game development, aerospace engineering versus, you know, dev in a game. But he's been playing Destiny long enough that he's got an idea about some stuff for sure. Since Bungie made the claim that they can't afford to focus resources on making PvP gaming maps for D2, I'm going to step you through a mathematical breakdown of how disingenuous and penny-pinching Bungie is being here. Bungie, as a company, has 1,552 total employees. Obviously, not all of these are developers. Let's make the assumption that 800 of these employees are software developers, and that is 51.5% of the total workforce. Personally, I think that one new PvP map per season should be the goal. This would be my biggest armchair dev moment of the thread. But let's make the assumption that a team of 20 developers dedicated only to D2 map making could crank out one PvP map per season. Now, what does 20 devs mean in the context of Bungie as a company? Let's first look at the impact as a percentage of Bungie's total staff of devs. 20 devs out of a total of 800 is a mere 2.5% of Bungie's dev workforce. How about what 20 devs means in terms of cost of Bungie? Let's make the assumption that average salary of those 20 devs is $150,000 a year. 20 devs times $150,000 per year is $3 million a year. Finally, let's put this in the context of what it means versus Bungie's value as a company. Last year, Sony purchased Bungie for $3.6 billion. The $3 million per year it would cost to make the one PvP map per season is a minuscule 0.08% of that $3.6 billion. It would take 1,200 years for those 20 developers to burn through all of the said $3.6 billion. All the while, D2 continues to bring in tens to hundreds of millions of dollars in microtransactions revenue each year. So when Bungie says they don't have the resources to make PvP maps for D2, remember, the corporate suits decide that a mere 2.5% of the studio's devs and a 0.8% of the money from Sony acquisition each year is too much to allocate for a core mode of the game. I would back up and say, even though a new map would be nice every season, just getting our old maps back. You gotta understand, Bungie took a lot of maps that we were big fans of. A ton of maps that we absolutely loved. I enjoyed the hell out of playing in those maps. And the argument for why some of those maps were taken out was because the spawns on those maps were imbalanced, and that's why they took it out. The maps that have returned to us that were previously taken out for those issues of spawn, as in you would be spawned in like enemy gunfire, right? When those maps came back, the same problems persisted. So it's left us scratching our head wondering why. At this point, though, I would just be happy to give back all of the old maps that were taken out of the game. It would be different if we had map voting and you could like choose the map. You're like, all right, I don't want to play Disjunction. I will vote for Pacifica, or I'll vote for Javelin. You could have that opportunity to vote for the map you want to play on, but we don't have map voting. And if we don't have map voting, if you're not going to give us map voting, then at least give us such a large pool of great maps or even okay maps so that we can avoid bad maps.